but I love the sound of the rain against my window pane. Good evening, Coaching You for You family. Thanks for being here with us this evening. Before I move forward, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that you can see us on Facebook, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. This is one time where we want you to put all of our business in the streets. This is Annette Latigue here. Good evening, all, and thank you again for joining us. Tonight, our topic is a good one. It's about self care and why it matters. Let's talk about self care just a little bit, but before we do, I'd like to shout out and thank my sponsor, Puma, for believing in us and our podcast here at Coaching You for You. Puma brings the heat to the street or the track. They draw from a unique heritage in sports. Their credibility is high, and they have a lifestyle of trends. Check them out. They've strengthened their position in the sports brand and are ready to do business with you. Puma means business. Thank you again for the sponsorship. Self-care is important for a number of reasons, and the first thing I want to remind you is to hydrate. And I'd also like to remind you of one of the things that works very well for me. And again, I don't know everything. I'm sharing experience, strength, and hope. What doesn't apply, let it fly. Eat fruit, drink water, moisturize your feet and hands, and mind your business. I guarantee you'll be a lot better off. Let's talk about self-care for a minute. Self-care is critical in 4 areas based on my experience, strength, and hope. And that's physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And why is the emotional piece of spirituality and self-care, why is the physical, mental, emotional, and spirituality so important for us? For a number of reasons. And as you think about what it means to take care of yourself, remember this. I promise you, if you'll mind your business, your life, that's the simple part of it, it's going to get so much better. So much better. The physical part of self-care is the opportunity to give your body the rest, movement, nourishment, and restoration that it needs. And your body needs that. It's fuel. It's fuel to keep you going and to help you to move forward with a healthy mind. Your mental self-care feeds your mind with expanding knowledge or learning a new skill. Clear the clutter from your mind and practice mindfulness. I'd like to thank Divine Allah for that in helping me move forward in mindfulness as I work with him for a bit at the playground on my health and fitness. Your emotional self-care is about understanding and expressing your emotions fully in the present moment and creating healthy boundaries. That's so important. And your spiritual self-care is about connecting with a power greater than you, your higher self, to breathe and be present and raise your energetic vibration. And so we have our physical, our mental, our emotional, and our spiritual. And I'd like to share with you that you are worthy of your self care right now. Right at this moment, you're worthy of your self care. Not when you get that job, not when you lose 20 pounds, if that's even possible for me, and not when people know who you are. You know, we spend a lot of time trying to convince people of who we are. I'd like to suggest that that is, in fact, a waste of time. And it's a waste of time because people will think what they want to think, no matter what you say and do, no matter how pretty you dress it up or dress it down. People will believe and think what they want. Just be you, be your whole authentic self, and everything will work out. But you're worthy now, and you're worthy now simply because you exist now. Take care of yourself and feed that spirit. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. So you know you're worthy of that peace. And how often are you in positions where you allow others to destroy your peace in one way or another? Whether it's family, friends, or foes, whether it's in business or in your personal life. Don't allow other people to destroy your inner peace. And remember, none of us has it easy. I don't care how great it looks on Facebook. Nobody has it easy. Everybody has issues because life happens, and it happens on life's terms, not on ours, but on life's terms. We all have our ups and downs. And so recognizing that and accepting that helps us take better care of ourselves. You never know what other people are going through. So pause before you start judging, mocking, or criticizing others. Everybody's fighting their own battle, including you and me, no matter how good it looks on Facebook or Instagram. Gramming it up, posing, Facebook, faking. Everybody has difficult times at some point in their life. Send a message to everybody that you deal with. Your soul, your whole soul, is on a budget. You can no longer afford stress, envy, negative vibes, doubt, or deceit. And that's even when it's in your own mind. Clear the clutter. Clear the clutter, baby. We talked about that right in the beginning. Clear the clutter. Practice mindfulness. Be on a budget. The next time somebody rolls up on you with things that don't concern you, remind them that you're on a budget. Your soul is on a budget. Your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health is on a budget because you're practicing self care. Another thing that'll bring us some joy and peace is when you don't worry about what goes on in houses where you don't pay the bills. Remember that. Even if you're in an alimony or child support situation, if it's not your house, mind your business. And for people who find peace instead of revenge when folk do you dirty, I'll tell you something from experience, you can't be bothered. You are the most unbothered person when you find your peace instead of practicing revenge. Remember that. Because so often people misbehave and we want to deal with them. It's not worth it. They're not worth it. Your peace and your sacrifice is not worth it. You sacrifice for you. You sacrifice to get better. You sacrifice to take care of yourself. Practice that peace and understand that everybody goes through something. Remember that you are worthy. You're worthy right now in this moment, space, and time. So let's talk a little bit about the physical and how we take care of ourselves. And listen, this is important. Self care is not selfish, it's sanity. If you want your sanity, practice self care because people always have a reason to use your energy, your time, and your effort. And most often, people are so used to doing that, and we're so used to allowing it to happen because we want to be everything to everybody, and we want to prove how great we are, and how strong we are, and how capable we are. And then we sabotage our own self care because we're busy looking out for others when in fact we should be looking out for ourselves. And that's okay. I've been in a space and time for almost 10 years where my energy and effort was not only abused and used, but taken for granted. And I'll tell you something. Once you get through a situation like that, you come to understand because we're so used to it that sometimes we're distracted. I talked about that last week, and we may not even recognize it's happening. Protect your peace. Practice self care. Practice minding your business. Practice taking care of you. You, yourself, and you. Listen, this is about coaching you for you. Thank you for joining me for this moment of motivation. There is nobody in this entire world more deserving of your time, energy, love, and attention than you. Nobody. And I promise you that once you take care of yourself, some of the things that distract you and get in your way will not become non existent, but your focus won't be there. It's how, when, and where we decide to focus. And the only way to take care of ourselves is to take care of ourselves. To take care of ourselves and do everything we need to do to provide for ourselves. So remember, tonight is an audio only podcast. I want to thank you for joining us. I want to remind you that no matter where you go and what you do, if you take care of yourself first, every little thing's going to be all right. Because in taking care of yourself, you learn how to deal with those difficult moments that come along for all of us. See, self-care doesn't mean that, life on life's terms won't exist for you. It will, just as it will for me and everybody else. But when we practice self-care, that's taking care of ourselves physically. Get your checkups. For the guys out there, get your real checkups. Get your mammograms. Get your prostate exams. Do what you need to do. Drink water. Take care of yourself physically. Some form of exercise is important, and that doesn't include running your mouth. Some form of physical exercise is important for you. It'll change the game for you, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. Your mental health is important. When you need help, get help. Being strong doesn't mean that when you're in difficult situations, you can't ask for help. Your strength comes through your ability to recognize when and where you need help and why you need it. If you need medication, take it. It's called self care. A lot of people don't want the vaccine. To each his reach. What doesn't apply, let it fly. For those of us who do, you know what I said earlier, eat fruit, mind your business, moisturize your feet and your hands, and drink water and hydrate. Your emotional health is important. We spend a lot of time trying to convince people that we're okay. Stop. It's not worth it. It's not worth it if you're not okay. Do what you have to do to protect that mental health by establishing boundaries. When people hurt you, when people betray you, when people mistreat you, set those boundaries up. There's nothing wrong with boundaries, baby. Bring the heat to the game of life, uh, and do what you need to do for you. We can love people from a distance. We can support people from a distance. I know my boundaries. Anybody who attempts to abuse, waste my time and energy, watch me disappear. You haven't seen a bigger, badder ghost. Watch me disappear. It's okay to give, but don't be used. Family, friends, and foe will use you if you let them. If you allow people to talk about you, misrepresent you, gossip, and spread your business that you've confidentially and freely shared with them, that's abuse. That's betrayal. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they represent, and I don't care what they come from. Loyalty is important in all relationships that matter. You know, don't be afraid to love somebody. Open up your heart. That's what love is about. This is all self care. That's what love is about. But don't be abused. Don't suffer abuse. And emotional abuse is the most sneaky link there is. Because when you're in situations like that, you don't always recognize them right away. Take care of yourself. These are your emotions we're talking about: loving but not being used, giving but not being abused, trusting but not being naive. This is how you protect your emotions. And listening to others but not losing your voice. I'm going to repeat that one because sometimes when we think we're in lust, love, or insanity, all three of us, of which those of us who are adults have experienced at some point in time. Don't lose your voice, no matter how much you love somebody. Take care of your emotional health too. And your spiritual health is about practicing something. It's about building your character. It's about connecting to a power greater than you. I choose God. Whatever you choose, whoever you choose, is all right with me. Again, what doesn't apply, let it fly. Self care is one of the most important habits for you to establish. I know because I established some boundaries. I established some self care. I take care of myself. I'm not selfish. I give, but I'm not abused. I love, but I'm not used. Um, Emotionally, when I love, I open up my heart. And spiritually, I trust God. And so I want to leave you with this tonight. What doesn't apply here, let it fly. This is simply a moment of motivation for you, my Coaching You for You family. Thanks for joining us. Again, You can see us on YouTube at COACHING4U. You can see us on Facebook at COACHING4U. And you can see us at Apple Podcasts. It really is you for you, baby. Self-care matters mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Connect to something greater than you and go on and live your life. And for the month of September, our affirmation is commit and prioritize your self care. Nobody deserves your love, attention, time, and energy more than you. In our cleansing mantra, wash away any energy that's not yours to carry. So often we carry the energy and burdens of others. It's not ours. Don't carry it. You will break under that weight. Release yourself from burdens of the past. And if you don't remember anything else tonight, please remember this. Forgive. Not for them, for you, because it frees you of the bondage. Forgive. Nourish yourself. Rest, relax, and restore. Self-care opens new doors to your mental awareness, your mindfulness, and your health. Hey, thank you for joining us here tonight at Coaching You for You. Again, hit the like, subscribe, share, and don't forget, Puma is bringing the heat to the street or the track. They've upped their game in the sports arena. I want to thank my sponsor again. I'd like to thank you for joining me. Have a great evening. Again, this is an audio podcast. We were not intended to be visual this evening. Thank you and good night. Go be a blessing to yourself. Your other blessing is out there somewhere, but be a blessing to yourself first. You bless yourself in self care, you'll be in a better position to bless others. Have a good night. Thank you.